Let's talk a little bit about what the central bank governor says about Nigeria's massive decline in import bill and local production. If you tie that together to the 41 items, the Riot Act, and looking very, that's Godwin Emefiele, the central bank chief there, last Friday at dinner time. It sounds very upset with any banks that would collaborate with any company, importer, whatever, to sabotage the FX rules and regulations around the 41 items.
Yeah, correct. You see a massive reduction in importation, but we should celebrate that with caution. Why I say that is because do we have alternative for what we are importing right now? If we don't, then it's going to climb, it's going to push inflation up because people will be forced to make do with what they have locally. But if the commodities that we have alternative and the price are relatively affordable at home, then there will be no issue with that. So I understand also from over the years what we've experienced. Any pre-election year, politicians spend in dollars. So most of the things that are actually happening may not really be private sector driven. It is politics. It is driven by politics. Politicians give dollars, so they buy more from Bureau de change, even though it's at the same rate. That will put pressure on the market, and the rate will grow from 360 apparel market. We recently experienced 1%. If CBN don't flood the market with a lot of financial injection, that was done a couple of days ago, more financial injection into that market, particularly pre-election year, you might see a situation where Naira is devalued again or depreciate again compared to the US dollars. This is just how our economy is interfered with politics. So I think what the CBN governor should be looking at, perhaps, is to read riot act to politicians who are spending dollars. Dollars is not the local currency of Nigeria, it's the Naira. And the more you demand for that, it's going to have implication on the entire price, on the entire price line, because most of the things we consume in Nigeria today, apart from food and few other items, are imported. So when politicians spend this, it's going to have negative implication on the entire national currency.
This conversation, Paul has got on social media and on Twitter, to be specific, when he says, look, if your import bill is going down, that means domestic production is going higher, which means that alternatives to some of the imported items are now being produced locally. What's your take on that?
Say it again?
Yes, the import bill going down very drastically to just about 106 million US dollars, so about 600 million, was attributed to the fact that we now have local alternatives to some of the imported materials. Is that the case? Do you think local production is increasing and that's helping to moderate our import bill?
It's possible, very possible, but we need to do that with caution. When President Obasanjo was in office, I remember milk was banned, among other things. Now, buying an item without creating alternative is just to shoot up the price because people must buy anyway. If we need to watch what the prices of those commodities are. If the prices are increasing, that means the demand has not been taken care of. That means people are shifting from imported commodity to local commodity, which is relatively limited in supply, and we have issues with that. But when you compare that to what happened in cement, a number of years ago, Nigeria used to import cement, but we now have had big players in cement industry that are locally driven. So when there was a ban or closure there was a law that you could no longer import cement to Nigeria, those that are producing were still able to meet demand, although the price increased likely, but it was not the point that you have the price skyrocketing. So if there are alternatives, and these alternatives can satisfy demand, it's not just alternative, it's alternative that is large enough to take care of demand, then the price will remain the same or might increase likely. So the alternative must be large enough, the volume must be big enough to take care of what the local demand wants or desires this moment today.
Paul Alaje, thank you very much for weighing in on some of these conversations. We just tiptoed into the third quarter GDP data that will be out on Monday morning, and of course the foreign trade third quarter number data that will be out also 5 p.m. On Monday as well. Monday looks like a very busy day. Thank you very much, Paul Alaje, development economist and senior partner at SPM Professionals. Thank you very much, live to us from our Abuja studios. When we come back, the conversation around the exchange traded funds will go on. Today, that very massive conference is taking place. Let's talk about our derivatives market, in particular, at a time when the market sentiment is very weak. Where are we with ETFs? We'll talk to an analyst live from here.